if you wouldn't mind, let's stand up. Let's put some love in our hearts, if it's not there already, right? 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. 1, 2. Here we go. Take a good fellow man, lend him a helping hand. Put a little love in your heart. You see it's getting late. Oh, please don't hesitate. Put a little love in your heart, and the world will be a better place, and the world will be a better place for you and me. Just wait and see. Another day goes by and still the children cry. Put a little love in your heart. If you want the world to know we won't let hatred grow, put a little love in your heart, and the world will be a better place, and the world will be a better place for you and me. Just wait and see. Take a good look around, and if you're looking down, put a little love in your heart. I hope when you decide kindness will be your guide, put a little love in your heart, and the world will be a better place, and the world will be a better place for you and me. Just wait and see. Put a little love in your heart. 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 And the world will be a better place, and the world will be a better place for you and me. Just wait and see. Wait and see. Take a good look around, and if you're feeling down, put a little love in your heart. I hope when you decide kindness will be your guide, put a little love in your heart, and the world will be a better place, and the world will be a better place for you and me. Just wait and see. Put a little love in your heart. 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 Stay up there. Here we go. Sometimes in our lives, we all have things. Yeah, you sound good. We all have sorrow, but if we are wise, we know that there's always tomorrow. Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. Please swallow your pride if they have things you need to borrow, for no one can fill those of your needs that you won't let show. You go. You just call on me, brother, when you need a hand. We all need somebody to lean on. I just might have a problem that you'll understand. We all need somebody to lean lean on me. When you're not strong, I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. You just call on me, brother, if you need a hand. We all need somebody to lean on. I just might have a problem that you'll understand. We all need somebody to lean on. If there is a road you have to bear that you can carry, I'm right up the road. I'll share your load if you just call me, call me, call me, yeah, yeah, call me if you need a friend, call me.
All right, good morning. I just want to make a note, if you have a problem, don't call me. Susan's much better at solving problems than I am. So just pass that on. It's so good to, what a beautiful sunshiny day here, a spring day, and it's so good to see all of you. I want to welcome those of you who might be tuned in on our YouTube channel this morning. We really wish you were here in our spiritual home with us, but we welcome your loving energy any way that we can get it, and we send it right back at you. Let me ask if there is anybody here for the first time, any first-time visitors. If so, please let me see a hand. Okay. Then we can move on. Let me do so by reminding you to please silence your cell phones so that we can get through the service without any interruptions. And with that, I would like to invite Marie to please come up and share with us today's daily word.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Today's daily word is appreciation. I appreciate the good in my life. When someone admires my efforts or thanks me for something helpful I've done, I'm happy to know I have blessed them. Recognizing how good it feels to be appreciated, I remember to express my gratitude and appreciation to people who have blessed me. And there are many, and many are sitting out here. I appreciate my friends and family by nurturing those relationships. I appreciate my community by being a responsible citizen. I appreciate the natural beauty of our world by caring for it and taking time to enjoy it. The people, the places, and the things I appreciate become more precious to me as I discover that each reflects God's presence and God's activity in a uniquely beautiful way. I am grateful to have so much to appreciate. And from Romans chapter 12, verse 10, love one another with mutual affection. Outdo one another in showing honor. And as most of you know, but some may not, that I am your prayer chaplain today. I will be up here after service along with one of our new chaplain, actually, our only new chaplain. And so please lean on us, and we will grace you with prayer. If you have any any hurts on your heart, or just want to share your gratitude and appreciation for all the wonderful things in your life. And for those on YouTube who are unable to come pray with us in person today, you are always welcome to notify the church office or by email or telephone and let them know, and a chaplain will be, the office will let us know, and a chaplain will be in touch with you. So blessings on this beautiful day. Thank you.
Thank you, Marie. I invite you now to please join with me in praying our Spirit's unfolding vision prayer. Guided by divine wisdom, inspired by divine imagination, centered in divine love, and knowing that God is our source, we boldly move forth in faith as we allow Spirit's expanding vision to unfold in our lives, the life of the spiritual community, and our world. Thank you, God. Amen. And now, if you would be kind enough to return to your feet, or remain seated if you prefer, but join in singing and praying the Lord's Prayer.
Our Father, heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil.
Please be seated. It's that wonderful time in the service where we get to bless our children. So will our children and their sponsors please come forward?
So as our youth are coming up, I wanted to just share a few words with you. First of all, I wanted to say thank you so much for all your support, not only financially through your love offerings, but also your emotional and social support for these children. 3 of our teens this coming weekend, from Friday, April 26th through Sunday, April 28th, will be, along with their sponsors, Missy and Dawn, will be attending their first teen retreat in Elkhorn, Wisconsin. So we are wishing them the best travels. They will be joining in on fun along with teens and sponsors from not only Illinois and Wisconsin, but also Michigan, Indiana, Ohio, and Minnesota. So they'll be forming some wonderful relationships. So we wish them a safe journey, and we look forward to hearing all about it when they return. So I've been on many of them, and I know they're fabulous trips and well worthwhile for both youth and adults. So with that, will you please join me in blessing our youth? We love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the Christ in you, and know that you are empowered to do great things.
It's in every one of us to be wise. Find your heart, open up both your eyes. We cannot know everything without ever knowing why. It's in every one ready? Look for the good in everything. Look for the people who will set your soul free. It always seems impossible until it's done. Look for the good in everyone. Look for the good in everything. Look for the people who will set your soul free. It always seems impossible until it's done. Look for the good in everyone. People done gone crazy. People done gone mad.
People done forgot the superpowers we all had.
We were born to love, not hate. We can decide our fate. Look for the good in everyone. If there's a silver lining, you still have to find it, find it, find it. Look for the good in everything. Look for the people who will set your soul free. It always seems impossible until it's done. Look for the good in everyone. Everyone needs sunshine. Everyone needs rain.
Everyone is carrying around some kind of pain.
I see who you are. You're just like me. I see you're searching for a purpose and guided by a dream. I see who you are. I'm just like you. I get lost sometimes and I forget what I came here to do. I keep on trying.
Keep on trying.
When it gets frightening, look for the good in everything. Look for the people who will set your soul free. It always seems impossible until it's done. Look for the good. Look for the good. Look for the good in everyone. Everyone is nature. Everyone is God. Everyone is love and light and vibration. Look for the good. Look for the good. Everyone gets mad sometimes, and maybe they should. Look for the good. Look for the good. Yeah, look out for all the heroes in your neighborhood. Look for the good. Look for the good. Life would sure be sweeter if everybody would look for the good in everything. Look for the people who will set your soul free. It always seems impossible until it's done. Look for the good in everyone. Look for the good in everything. Look for the people who will set your soul free. It always seems impossible until it's done. Look for the good. Look for the good. Look for the good in everyone.
Gosh, but you guys are good. Thank you, music team. I don't have a joke for you today. I had a really good joke that was on topic, but the ending was counter to the message today. So, as much as I love telling these jokes, but I found a very short poem that I'm going to read to you, okay, which is also on topic. And it's called I Love Trash. And it's very short, and it goes like this. Oh, I love trash. Anything dirty or dingy or dusty. Anything ragged or rotten or rusty. Yes, I love trash. That little bit of poetry actually is a chorus from a song that was sung by Oscar the Grouch on Sesame Street. And today our topic is curmudgeons need love too. And this topic was inspired in part by an experience that I had several years ago. And because I am prone to tell jokes, let me just let you know that there's really nothing funny about this, nothing amusing about this, so please bear that there's not a punchline coming. And the experience was this. I was with an associate, and we were walking through the airport in Beijing, China. And there, of all places along the concourse, as we were strolling by, there was a man sitting, not sitting, but stooped down with his back against the wall for support. And he wore a T-shirt with the message, pedophiles need love too. And I remember really kind of being upset because I don't think it was funny then, I don't think it's funny now. And it was something that stayed with me throughout the rest of the day. And I had 3 emotions as a consequence. I felt very sad, I felt very angry, and I felt a bit of shame. And I'm going to come back to the shame part a little bit later in the talk. But first of all, let's be clear about what a curmudgeon is, because it's not a word that we hear every day. And somebody suggested to me about this today that the service was going to be all about me. But that's okay, I forgive that person. A curmudgeon is the ultimate grouch. A curmudgeon is a word I can't say. Curmudgeon is a person who takes a silver lining and looks for the cloud, okay? A curmudgeon is somebody that not only is unhappy, a curmudgeon is somebody that does not want to be happy. It's all about complaining. And then, having explained that, let me share with you in my life that my mom was a curmudgeon, at least a good part of the time. And don't get me wrong, I understand, because through it all, she was able to get a message through to me and to my siblings that we were loved, and also probably that we were lovable in some sense. But just to give you an example of what I'm talking about, when my daughter Lisa was a little girl, and we had a little birthday party for her, and I went and picked Mom up, and I brought her over, and we had the party, and we had dinner, and we served cake. Mom, would you like a piece of cake? And she looked at the cake and she said, you know that I only like chocolate cake. She didn't take any cake. And then a short 6 weeks later, it was my daughter Lori's birthday. And we repeated the whole thing. I picked my mother up, we had dinner, we sang happy birthday, she blew out the candles, and there sitting was a beautiful chocolate cake. Mom, would you like a piece of cake? You know I don't like chocolate cake. It's really true. You know, it's awfully difficult to please somebody that doesn't want to be pleased. It's awfully difficult to see the light and the love in somebody who doesn't really feel the light and love in his or her life. But I want to make one thing today clear. The message today is not about going about the business of trying to change a curmudgeon. The message today is about trying to love and understand somebody who is really unhappy with his or her life. Somebody that is really has kind of an inbred disposition of seeing things through a very dark lens and always taking up the negative instead of the positive. That would have been another good song today. But the songs you picked were just... I'm not complaining. You know, you never, ever really know what has gone on in somebody else's life. You never really know what somebody might have experienced, you know, and getting through this thing that we call life. And you're never really sure on a given day what somebody's experience was on that day. And so, you know, somebody cuts us off in traffic or whatever, and boy, we just have that knee-jerk reaction. But you'd never, ever know. And several years ago when I was driving along, all of a sudden I got rear-ended by a car, just glanced off the left side of the rear. And then that person sped off. And I said, what the heck is this about? So I sped off after him. And I kept blowing my horn, trying to get his attention. And finally, he turned off and went into a parking lot, and I followed him. And I wanted to go about the business of getting all of the information because my car was hit. And during the whole exchange time, he must have repeated 10 times, I am having such a miserable day. I am really having a miserable day today. I didn't care. I mean, it's just the truth. I wanted my car fixed, and I wanted him to pay for it. And I was really careless about the whole thing. You know, don't tell me about it. I always like to revert to scriptures when it's applicable. And boy, I want to tell you, there are all sorts of complainers in the Bible, okay? Moses was not a happy camper about what he was asked to do, and he made his feelings clear to God. And Jonah was more of the same, maybe even worse. I'm really comfortable here, and you are bothering and interfering with my life. And then the way God decided to play things out, Jonah thought God should have gone in a completely different direction and was unhappy about that too. And the character of Job, you know, may have been somebody who really, for the most part, remained steadfast in his love and belief in God. But he let God know in no uncertain terms that you, God, are responsible for what I'm going through right now. And there's a little-known prophet called Habakkuk in the Hebrew Scriptures, very short, 3 chapters. And in one of the chapters, in no uncertain terms, he gets in God's face and says, how can you let what's going on in the world continue to go on? How can you let those who are evil prosper? How could you take those people that are faithless and remain silent and let them devour those people that are righteous? All of these are examples of people that were not happy with what was going on. And I want to tell you, just bringing it home, this happens all of the time. Because we all blame God when something goes wrong. If I were to poll this Unity congregation this morning, tell me in a word or two, when you think of God, what do you think of? And maybe you go to a place of, okay, God is divine mind. God is one power. God is one source. I'm betting that maybe even a majority might go to the place of, you know, God is love. But let me give you a different perspective. Your God is that person or that thing that you worship at any given moment in your life. Your gods are those things that you worship on any given day in your life. Your God is whatever thought that you contain and have that cause you and bring you to a decision in terms of what to do and what choices you make. Your God is whatever it is that you choose to obey at any given time in your life. And if at any time in your life you are not about love, you've chosen to worship another God. My gods are my habits, my sacred routines, my blessed addictions, and my holy knee-jerk reactions when something is going on in my life. I'll give you another example. I think we all have somebody that we don't really like all that much. And if we're in a room and that kind of a person or that person walks in, you know, we may look at him or her and go, oh my God. Your giggles tell me that you know what I'm talking about, okay? What is he doing here? What is she doing here? And when you have that experience, you are not worshiping a God that is love. You're worshiping some other curmudgeon type of thought that now my whole darn day is ruined. That made me think of another joke, but I won't. We don't have the time. And when it happens, you know, you may espouse that your God is love, but at that particular moment, you are turning your face away from that God of love, and you are turning your face away from yourself. Do you want to know what was really upsetting to Moses when he came down from the mountain, toting the 12 commandments, and he saw his people had fashioned and were worshiping a golden calf? It wasn't the calf. It was an understanding on his part that they had forgotten or abandoned, the God that had liberated them from the Egyptians, the God that had nurtured them through years and years in the desert, the God that always ultimately took care of them. And so when we choose to honor those gods other than the gods that we espouse in terms of love and kindness and understanding and nurturing and, having characters of being a loving parent, we might just as well kneel down and worship a golden calf. The ultimate example of a curmudgeon is probably the character of Ebenezer Scrooge. We share a lot with that character. Every one of us at one time or another, I'm very confident of this, has gotten upset with the way God did or did not handle things. And even people who don't believe in God do not hesitate to blame God when everything goes sour in their lives. It's incredible. And I know two people who were very, very close to me in my life who were diagnosed with something that was absolutely terminal and came up with the question of, what did I do to deserve this? Because this is not fair. This is not right. And just like those prophets in the scriptures, we can't bring ourselves to a point where we don't want to revert back to all of the cynicism and the skepticism and putting on those, dark gray lenses. Ebenezer Scrooge, his prayer was, bah humbug. This was his response to everything that he was presented to in his life. If he ever was a part of or witnessed love and nurturing and compassion, his response was, bah humbug. And if God ever appeared to him in any of those ways or forms, there was enough that Dickens didn't share with us early on what turned this person into a curmudgeon. Because again, we don't know which is true in our everyday lives, but it was real. So if you have ever known the true reality and the beauty and the power and the splendor of God, if he had ever known love in any sense, he made a decision and he traded that all in and worshiped money. And again, there were no alleluias, there were just humbugs in his life. Ebenezer Scrooge would have an epiphany. And it's a fascinating story. It truly is a gospel story, not because it had a happy ending, but because it tells the story of how his life was changed by 3 ghosts. And the metaphysics of that is, if we just let spirit in, it could make a difference. And those 3 spirits, or those 3 ghosts, came along and they showed him in a very real way what love, or the absence of love, can result in. Both in the past and what it could result in the present, and what the love and the absence of love can result in our days going forward. That event in Scrooge's life, whether it was a dream or an imagination or whatever, found its way into at least a little opening in his life. I shared with you that I would come back to this business about shame, and I again want to reiterate, it's really not our business to try to change somebody by getting into all of the muck and all of the mess in their lives. The very best that we could do at any given time is to be present to somebody, to let them know that this thing, this God of love, is not something that's just out of reach in the stars someplace, but this is something that dwells within each and every one of us. And if we could just tap into it a little bit, maybe we could make a heck of a difference. Why was I ashamed? Because I realized in my reactions of anger and sadness, and they were actually stronger than that initially. They were about disgust and being repulsed by it all. In that moment, I didn't worship the God that I really professed in my life that I was all about. I worshiped a God within of judgment, and as I said, disgust, rejection. And in that moment, I did not have to go up to this individual and say a word. I did not have to go up to this individual and pat him on the back or give him a hug or anything like that. All I had to do was send him a silent prayer of affirmation. I could have given him a namaskar. The Christ in me recognizes and respects and honors the Christ in you. This is not stuff that's difficult for us to do. The only trick to it is in that moment where your head wants to go someplace else. Just take a breath. Reaffirm you really don't know what is going on with the other person, and then say, I don't even care what that is. And you could stand up, be present, and say, here I am, in terms of being somebody that's consistent with the God of love. You could be forgiving even if you don't know what there is to forgive. I want to share with you, if I find it. Just some short words from the prophet Ezekiel. And through the prophet Ezekiel, God says these words: I will give you a new heart, and a new spirit I will put within you. I will remove your heart of stone from your flesh and give you a heart of flesh. That last word, give you a heart of flesh. Don't we have hearts of flesh? And I really think what that passage is telling us is that the awakening, the quickening of God or Spirit or the Christ essence within us that is within our hearts. Because it's so easy to be callous. It's so easy to be dismissive. It's so easy to not care. It's so easy to look the other way. If any time, especially in these troubled times in which we are so polarized as a people in this country, and we're ready to send vibes, that are anything other than a heart of loving flesh, if we could just pause and don't let the vile come into our head, let alone out of our mouths. That's what we as a people of God are called to do. And so I'll conclude by telling you that I lied to you. Because I said this is not about changing curmudgeons or their behavior, but it is. It's about changing the curmudgeon that is within yourself. It's about refusing to look through the world, to refusing to look at one another through some dark lens, but to choose instead to return to the God that we profess as we come here this morning. And so let's take this now, please, to prayer.
I wish you grace in this moment. I wish you peace in this moment. I wish you love in this moment. I wish you freedom. I wish you grace in this moment. I wish you peace in this moment. I wish you love in this moment. I wish you freedom.
I invite you now just to relax. Join with me in taking a nice deep breath. Inhale. And then just let it loose. And take another deep breath. And let that loose at all. Let each breath that you take be an affirmation of the grace that is wished for us in this moment. And as we exhale, we enter into a mindfulness of denying, putting aside everything and anything that would either try to convince us that that grace was not available to us or that it wasn't worthwhile for us to pick it up, to embrace it. Our beauty, our power, our strength, our love is all based upon our relationship with God. And our relationship with God is all based upon how we choose to look at it. And that's why we go inside and we really, really intently listen as much as we possibly can. Okay, Lord, I'm here. I'm present. I'm serious. Speak to me. Tell me. Share with me in ways that I will understand, given my own personal life circumstances. All about the love that I so desperately crave. All about the joy that I am told we're supposed to know. And all about the peace which keeps me centered, which keeps me focused. And we go deeper and we listen still harder. We put away any resistance that wants to pop up at this time. We return to our breathing and the pattern of embrace that it sets for our encounter with God or Spirit. And we listen again, letting go of any designs in terms of what it's supposed to look like. We go deeper, affirming our willingness to work with Spirit, to sort it all out, to figure it all out later. Now, at this time, we are called upon only to recognize, accept, and say yes to the oneness which really ultimately defines us. And so I invite you now to do that in some moments of silence. And now softly, gently, please return to this physical space. And as you are comfortable, you may open your eyes again. Absorb the beauty of this space, the beauty of this room that surrounds every piece of furniture, everything on this platform, the music, and most of all, one another. And affirm your acceptance of the grace that has been gifted to us. Not just in a feel-good way, but with an understanding that it is there, it is a bank from which we can withdraw anytime we need to. The beauty, the power, the splendor of that God within that we have just experienced. A beauty, a power, and a splendor that allows us to see the incredible mystery and wonder, innocence of this world in which we live, and then sign on to it. Loving Spirit, we are so grateful for your insistence upon coming to us, rising up within us, your insistence upon being an integral part of our lives, not just selectively, but always. We thank you, loving Spirit, for raising us up and allowing us, giving us the courage to dare to reach for that which we thought was unreachable. Truly, 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 we are blessed. And so we say, thank you, God. Thank you, Spirit. And so it is. Amen. Now it's time for our love offering, our sacrament of giving and receiving. Always we are grateful for whatever financial contributions you're able to make and decide to make, whatever financial investment you choose to make in the support of this church. And most of all, we are grateful for the investment of yourselves. This past Friday night, we had our appreciation dinner for volunteers at the church, and it was a wonderful experience because you really do make a difference in so many ways. So join me now in praying our affirmations. God is my instant, constant, abundant source of supply, and divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all the good that I am, I have, I give, and I receive. Divine love flowing through us blesses and multiplies all the good that we are, we have, we give, and we receive. Mary and Kitty, absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Thank you. It's time for our announcements. Yep, that's what the sign says. So, ladies, gentlemen, you don't have to listen to this. Ladies, please meet after today's service for a women's group planning meeting. Please bring along your ideas for some brainstorming, along with your wisdom and your ears to listen to one another. The next class is the Eye of the Storm, which will be held online starting this Tuesday evening. This class invites us to explore conflict leading to peacemaking within ourselves and our relationships. We will learn to manage conflict and actually embrace it, stretching us to experience challenges from our center and experience our wholeness and spiritual essence. All are welcome to attend. Please stop at the sign-up table to register and for more information about the required book. Next, Daniel Nahmod is coming to concert here on Sunday, May 19th, and ticket sales have begun. You could stop by the sales desk or scan the QR code in your bulletin. From there, it will take you to the website where you can purchase tickets. Daniel will also be holding a workshop that same day at 12:30. It is called Being Real, a spring workshop for taking a breath, taking stock, and looking ahead. We hope that you can attend, and we ask you to please support these events with Daniel Nahmod, not just by your attendance, but by inviting somebody else to come along. Anybody you drag here will not be disappointed. All are invited to Riley King's senior recital, which is next Sunday afternoon at 4:30 right here in the sanctuary. The Kings hope you can join them for her senior recital, where she will be showcasing all of the hard work she has put in over the last 11 years of her violin journey. There will be a 30-minute concert, followed by light refreshments. And that concludes our announcements for today. With that, I invite you to please return to your feet, confer upon one another our congregational blessing by turning to the person alongside you or maybe across the aisle, and then remain standing for our prayer of protection and our peace song. Our blessing. We love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the Christ in you, and know that you are empowered to do great things. And our prayer of protection, please. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us, and the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Sing it out. Let